Hi everyone and welcome to today. It's very exciting to be here. I'm from Department of Transport and I want to just talk to you about one of the challenges we're facing at the moment and just pose some of the problems that we're experiencing and describe a bit about what we're looking for from this program. Rather than share the story of one, I would like to share some of the experiences of many people that have had across our transport network. The following extracts were collected by Plan International as part of the Free2Be City Mapping Pilot project. This pilot involved crowdsourcing data, mainly but not only from young women across Melbourne, about where they felt safe or unsafe in different locations. Of the 1,300 pins received, 14% were connected in some way to public transport. Some of the examples. Melrose Street tram stop is desolate and unpleasant, especially at night time. I choose to change between the 57 and 59 tram at the Children's Hospital instead, which sometimes means I miss a connection I would otherwise have made, just so I feel safer waiting. Drunks from the pub and people hanging out around the station at night hassle you as you walk past. Women waiting for buses are frequently shouted at by passing cars. Although I appreciate the presence of PSOs on the platform, the underpass makes me feel unsafe. The entrance to the station is really quiet, lots of dark areas, trees, people hanging out around the walkways. I usually take an Uber home now instead of the train. The station itself is fine, but if you have to head south by foot from it, there is pretty much no non-terrifying option. The fear I felt coming home in winter is a big reason I moved house and left this area. So what's the impact of these? Both research and media reporting globally highlights the safety and mobility challenges faced by transport users and women globally. Research shows that between 1/3 and 1/4 of women feel unsafe on public transport, particularly at night time. There are 3 major areas of concern: whilst on public transport, whilst waiting for public transport to arrive, and whilst travelling the last kilometre to and from stations and stops. Importantly, it's not just the onboard journey, but travelling to and from stations and stops where negative experiences are encountered. And while many concerns relate to travelling at night time, others relate to issues arising during a day and busy peak periods. In seeking to better understand passenger experiences, we have mapped passenger journeys to identify points of pain and points of satisfaction. An example of a train passenger journey is on screen. Some of the moments identified that were important to either a person's safety or where some users identified greater access requirements are highlighted right across this journey. Some of the questions we might see passengers asking: are there safe paths to the station? Is the station and the train clean and well maintained? Can I easily get on and off the train? Do I feel safe parking at the station, on the train, when exiting the station, or in the car park? Do I have enough personal space whilst on board the train? These moments across a passenger's end-to-end journey can have a significant impact on their experience and decisions about whether or not to use public transport again in the future for similar trips. So a bit more about our role. At the Department of Transport, we manage the design, planning, operation, renewal and decommissioning of all transport assets. This includes trains, trams and buses and all the supporting infrastructure, such as stops, stations, bicycle lanes and walkways. Each of these assets provides or facilitates a service for the users of the transport system. And many of these are highly utilised. Currently, there are 23 million trips each day in Victoria, and we expect this to reach 38 million by the year 2050. We also play a lead role in coordinating initiatives to improve the personal safety of transport users. And we know that our transport assets could be more responsive to the diverse needs of all users of the transport system, particularly the safety and mobility of women and girls. And that brings us to our challenge for today. As part of this challenge, we're looking for innovative new tools, methods or techniques that would enable the requirements of transport users, and in particular women and girls, to be incorporated into transport asset management decisions. We're looking for startups who can work with our team to develop tools or techniques that would improve personal safety and mobility outcomes. Some of the questions we would like to explore through this process include: how could we develop a gendered, responsive and whole-of-journey approach to the management of transport assets? When does asset underperformance contribute to the reduced personal safety of transport users? How could users demand better transport asset management? And how could a user-centred approach improve network performance, service levels, user safety and mobility outcomes? And whilst we're particularly interested in innovations that could improve the safety of women and girls, we're open to innovations as part of this challenge that would improve the experience of other user groups also. As part of this challenge, we are looking to work with startups who can inspire the development of new innovations that will result in measurable improvements to the commuter experience. We are already working with crowdsourced data and conducting research on stakeholder views and commuter experiences. We are also exploring the potential for non-asset-based interventions such as reporting apps and communications campaigns. These are things we're not looking to get out of this process. This challenge is instead focused on how we could improve asset management and what innovations to the asset management process, from asset design and operation to maintenance, could improve passenger outcomes. We have access to transport asset managers, planners and data analysts who can help work with interested startups to help co-design the solution. We're very excited about embarking on this journey and look forward to working with you. Thank you.